mean, flips get very subjective. You know what I mean? So, and for you, if there's people in here doing rooms, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Because people do flips at all different degrees. So if the neighborhood, say their, comps are here, retail-ish is, let's even just call it 240 to 260. Okay? Maybe you've got some of those 2 bedrooms, some couple off-market stuff that's sold even lower. 200 to 215. So we would call this low comps, high comps. Okay? And this is where we're going to slot it. What I would do is I would pull up the actual subdivision, okay? And what you can usually do, like even on Zillow, or if you're using the MLS, you can actually pick the little draw tool and custom draw around your subdivision. If that doesn't give you very many comps, you can look from a satellite view, kind of like you're in an airplane, and go, oh, the neighborhood across the street, looks like the streets flow right into it. It's basically like all the same, and then you could probably look at those. If you look and you're like, oh, those are totally different roofs, those look totally way newer, totally way different, whatever, don't use those. Look the other direction. Is there something the other street? For a lot of neighborhoods and subdivisions in our area, with the amount of activity we have, usually just that subdivision is going to be enough to see some stuff, whether it gives you 4 or 5 comps, 10, 12, whatever. So like, let's say here, these are kind of my comps. Some of these have some extra square footage, right? A couple of these are off market, a little smaller square footage. Again, these are higher square footage. These are flips, so they're listed retail, give pictures, all that kind of stuff. And these are just your kind of, and you've got stuff all in the middle, right? So if you're 200 to 340, you're probably gonna have stuff, right, all across the spectrum. So as I pull up our house, let's say I don't know this yet, I pull up our neighborhood, I pull up just that subdivision, and I don't put parameters on square foot. Remember, we're 1,300 square foot, we're 3.2.
It's Joshua Gayman, and I flip houses right here in the Phoenix market. 100% of the deals that I do are wholesale transactions, and people are always asking me, Josh, how do you get deals like this? I'm gonna show you step by step how I do this, how I acquire houses that are off market at a discount for less than they're worth and make a ton of money quickly flipping them to other buyers right in that very same market. Now guys, there's steps on marketing, there's steps on sales, there's steps on growing the business. All of this has allowed me to build a lifestyle that I can enjoy taking my kids on trips, my family on vacations, having an awesome house, cars, everything that I've wanted, the life of my dreams, and I want the same for you. So click the subscribe button, hit the little bell right here on YouTube so you get all the notifications, and follow along with this journey. We're also on Instagram at highgross14, and I can't wait to connect with you.
And this is what I see. Let's say I see 12 properties, okay? I've got three highs, low highs 300, high highs 340. I've got 4 lows, okay? Low lows 200, high lows 215. What does that leave me with? 7. And then I've got 5 in the middle. And let's just say they go very evenly. They go 12 grand and to split that gap. Okay, so I don't know yet where mine is. What I would do is I would look up, and the first thing I'm going to do typically to make my offer is look at here, and as I'm talking to the person, I'm saying, hey, there's been a lot of houses in the neighborhood for 200, 215. Those are retail sales. I'm probably going to be back at that. Fees, convenience, all that type of stuff. And if I can do that and then get it low, and it's actually as is worth more than this, maybe I created some spread, right? But what I'm doing is I'm just trying to figure out the valuation. I pull it up, and these are what I see. So my low's 200, my high's 340. I've got a third of them up here, a third of them down here, and a third of them all in the middle. What I would then start doing is I would look within these comps, and I would look for where would mine fit in. So basically, as you go up in price, the homes are going to get a little nicer or bigger or a combination, right? And there will be like one, you're like, oh, that one looks kind of weird. It looks like it sold a little more than it should have, or this one sold for a little less than it would have. And then sometimes you're like, oh, you go to it and you're like, oh, because it backs to the road. Or like, oh, because it's like a weird lot and it's smaller. Or, oh, this one's like this because it's a cul-de-sac lot, it's bigger. And you can sometimes adjust the little things. And sometimes you kind of can't, but they're real little. So what will happen then is, as I thumb through, right, these 4 and these 3, and then the other 5 in the middle, I'm going to kind of figure out where mine is. And let's say I land on, I'm like, well, there's a comp at 240, another comp at 255, the one at 258. The one at 240 was 4 months ago. Okay, the market's been coming up a little bit. This one was last month. This one was 2 weeks ago, and it's not even as nice as this one, right? And these are the closest to mine. I would go, well, that one was 4 months ago, and it looks like these are real similar. And if other things in line show that the market's coming up, and I'm probably going to go closer to here. You go, well, 255, 258, and that's kind of where I'm going to slot it. Okay. Now I want to do. So I'm like, okay, what I've decided, what I've determined here is that retail is probably in the mid 250s. Okay. But that's retail. What I want to know is wholesale. And what wholesale means is what number could I flip this house to a retail buyer through MLS as is. And when I say a retail buyer, it doesn't mean somebody who's going to live in the house. It could mean what could I put it on MLS and get the most from all the fix and flippers that would see it once I did that. Does that make sense?